evidence is readily accessible. After a few days of intense searches, her body was found completely naked, without even hiking boots on, laying face down in a creek in 3 inches of water.
It's always face down.
She had walked away from her tent and campfire, taken off her clothes, and expired where she lay on the banks of a shallow creek for no apparent reason. Yet the coroner refused to issue a cause of death. That's and the mountain range is called the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, which is Spanish for blood of Christ, I believe. And the medical office said she died of hypothermia, even though her body didn't really have any of the signs of hypothermia. He just, I guess, inferred it from the fact that she was naked and in a river at a very cold time of the year.
Well,
or a creek.
I guess that's fair, kind of, but you would still want to make sure, I would think.
So, well, as I understand it, she didn't have any physical symptoms of hypothermia.
Right.
But if you look into it a bit, not everybody does. And that would explain the nakedness, kind of, because people in extreme cases of hypothermia, your body tries to keep itself alive. So what it does is it just keeps all the blood in the core, so the blood stops getting to your arms and your legs. And you get warm. And a lot of people in that moment begin to undress because they're sweating, because all of their blood is in their core.
I guess, maybe. I think it's probably more likely they get crazy and just start stripping off their clothes, but...
So, that is an overview of some of these missing 411 cases. My honest opinion is that minus the Dior Coons case, there's a lot here.
Yeah, but I feel like you're connecting a lot of things together that really have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
That's a valid way to look at it, I suppose. But...
like, we don't have an answer. Therefore, these must be connected. I feel like that's a lot of...
and see...
A plus B equals C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
See...
I don't make those jumps.
But, okay... I wouldn't either, but I'm looking at it from the way a police officer would look at it. There's an MO to all these cases. All of these cases have an MO. The hunters that have gone missing, these are guys that are capable, smart. They know what they're doing. How did they suddenly just vanish?
Once you guys are done talking, I will tell my part of what I think is going on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We're here to listen to you.
I've been pretty smart this whole episode, so hey, you guys better be proud of me.
You're smart all the time.
But, here's the thing. So I'm seeing a little bit of what his mom is seeing, but I'm also seeing a little bit of connection here. So there's the first two. The very first two sounded like they were in the woods. They were caught. They were found dead a few years/months later, right? The next few were about, the next two, I think, were about mountains and stuff. Well, the next one was about, let's start with this one. The next one was about the guy who we're not even sure, the little boy who we're not even sure if it was part of this case, or was just something that the parents knew about that nobody else has figured out yet.
Right.
So the next two are about mountains and how they figured out what's going on near them, which I'm seeing that. And the next few, after that, I'm seeing there's a lot of folded clothes, neat stuff, spreaded parts, body parts and bones and stuff. That's not the same thing. But here's the thing. They're all lost. They're all missing. That's part of the missing 411. Now I'm thinking that they all have something to do with each other, but they're not the same species. I'm thinking they're like different types of species of the same type of ghost or something. Something that scientists haven't found out yet. I don't know. It just works in my head, I guess.
I guess.
And see, for me, and this is probably confirmation bias, so I'm going to say that right now. It's probably confirmation bias. But for me, this just reiterates what I've believed about the levels to reality thing I've talked about since almost our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
In that, I honestly think that some way, somehow, these people got disassociated from our level of reality and wound up on another one. That explains why their tracker dogs can't find them. They're literally not there to be found.
Right. But then again, how would you explain the bones if they were transferred to a different part of reality?
Eventually it falls through. Either that or something is coming and going, let's put it here. That's believable. We'll just put it here.
Fair enough.
I don't think these levels of reality are unoccupied. I think they're very occupied. And that's what I think, is that this is a situation where you're dealing with these people that have somehow become divorced from our level of reality and wound up someplace they didn't want to be.
Oh. They either didn't want to be or don't know why they're there. But a lot of the things that we do talk about do sound like different levels of reality.
So, my honest opinion is he's onto something. Does every case tie together? No. But it's super creepy to me in dealing with the missing 3.5-year-old that the one thing that he mentioned when he talked about the other Grandma Cappy is she's in a cave with all this stuff, hunting equipment, camping equipment that's never been recovered.
Uh-huh.
And he's talking about this stuff being in that cave. And I would just dismiss it as the ramblings of a 3-year-old, but you've got the grandma going, hey, I camped there too, and I got bit by something. And the only thing I remember is red eye shine. And I know nothing lives on this planet that eye shines red that we know about.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Right.
That would definitely be concerning.
Yeah. Especially if your story ties together with stuff like that. Yeah, no, there was definitely something there if, you know.
Do all of these cases tie together? No, I don't think they do. I agree with you.
No, they don't.
But let's say just 10% of them do.
10% of them definitely do.
And I think it's actually a more significant number than that. But let's just say 10% of them do. They tie together and they mean something.
Well,
then we got a pretty serious problem because something out there is hunting us when we're alone.
When we're either alone or not looking.
Or maybe these people just refuse to poop on the paper, and that...
Yeah, they should have... If they won't poop on the paper...
Well, I guess the children don't... One of the children just knew karate and was just like... Yeah!
So, what do you guys think? Because this is a huge topic, and certainly there's room for a lot of thought and a lot of theory. David Paulides, the guy that came up with it, is still trying to track it down. With the doggedness of a homicide detective on whatever show you watch your homicide detectives on. Me, I'm a Joe Kenda fan. Because he's funny.
Is that your other man crush?
No. My man crush is and remains Josh Gates.
Yes, Daddy only has the one name.
Yes, oh my god, he finally admitted it.
Daddy only has the one man crush.
Is there anybody new right now? Because if so, we've been talking about this since almost day one.
So that's our show?
It is.
Yeah.
As always, thank you for listening. We could not do what we do without you.
Speaking of listening, I want to make a big deal out of the listens.
Okay, make a big deal.
So, we have been watching our listens, and Crystalline and I have been pestering Dean about how many listens do we have, because Dean works very hard, you guys. He works so hard. He's doing all of the Twitter and most of the social media, because I work full-time for a company.
And I'm 11.
The kids, of course, have school and this and that. So he works very hard on this podcast, y'all. Not to diss Team Bunny, because Team Bunny's awesome. But Team Podcast has been working for the podcast.
Team Bunny's awesome, but they don't do nearly as much work.
It was exciting to us to see that we have definitely increased in listens. Maybe not as far as we'd like to, but that's not what this is about at the end of the day. While we definitely want to get out there and have more people hear us, because we can do more things, cover more topics, be able to bring more content.
All the things. All the
things. But at the end of the day, it's about us being a family and being able to reach out and talk to people and meet people and educate people, educate each other, spend time together as a family. And so for everyone who has been listening, thank you. Please continue to share. Our website is up now, and there's a direct link to Spreaker from our website, who's our great hosting for our podcast. Now you can do everything. Oh, I'm sorry. Crystal needs to add something.
For the people who have been here since day one. Hi! We wouldn't be here without you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the people who have been here just a few days, maybe you just got in here last week. Know what? Hi, nice to have you. But seriously, every single one of you is worth as much as the other. Now, we don't know you. That's fair. But hey, you can always reach out to people.
Part of our family.
You're still part of our family. And that is what Family Plot is.
Yes.
We have this ride together on the Family Adventure-verse every single time. I don't care if it's true crime or something like that. No matter if Dad's not wearing his adventure hat, it's always an adventure for you guys.
But the adventure hat is here. So
but the adventure hat is here today because...
The only times I don't really wear it are when we do true crime. It doesn't feel right wearing it for true crime.
I know.
Yeah.
It bothered your daughter last week, though.
It did bother me.
Okay. But the point is, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening. And keep sharing and keep listening, because we like doing this show.
Yes, we do. And as always, in addition to our listeners, thanks need to go out to Aaron Gnerk, the host of the Big Dumb Fun Show, our promoter. Bill Barrett, who does our theme music, Paige Elmore, who did our logo, and also make sure you follow us on our Facebook group, the Family Plot Facebook group. You can follow us on Twitter, plot_family, or Krysta's F. Crystalline. Laura is still not on Twitter, but she'll get there eventually.
Eventually. I've been very busy. I'm also working on, doing some creations and starting a little startup small business of my own, so all of that's in the works for me too. So I've been busy.
Yes.
Now, we have our website that Laura did, the Family Plot Podcast.
Yes, I believe it's There's a link on the Facebook page.
Yes, just go to our Facebook page. There's a link. Follow that. Also, you can find us on Spreaker. We are, of course, on all your listening platforms. And